The Blue Jays are unable to win Game 6, but they did have their chances. Hey everyone, welcome into Long Ball. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Toronto Sun Blue Jays writer Rob Longley here following Game number 6 where the Dodgers take it 3-1, Rob. But the Blue Jays, if they do go on to lose this series, might be thinking about this one for quite a long time. Runners at second and third, nobody out in the bottom of the ninth, trying to tie this one up, but it's Addison Barger getting doubled off at second base to end it. But obviously, all night long, the Blue Jays did have opportunities with men on base, just didn't seem to get that big hit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting Addison Barger getting doubled off was not an example of good base running in the World Series, but, you know, the play before that where the ball got stuck in the wall just right out here, I mean, I was just talking to a couple of players in the clubhouse, and Dalton Varsho, who's pretty familiar with these walls out here, never seen anything like that happen. In fact, he said basically the only way it could get lodged is if it came in at that exact trajectory, that exact angle and stuck in the wall. Now, would that have decided the game? Probably not, but it might have scored one run. And it just seemed like it was such a dramatic turn of events, and then 3 pitches later, the ball game's over. But to what your point earlier, Rob, yeah, they didn't really take advantage of their opportunities. Looking at the scoreboard here, the Jays had 8 hits, the Dodgers only had 4. But they scored their 3 runs off of those 4 hits. In just one little wobble of an inning for Kevin Gausman, who was brilliant on either side of it, retired the last 10 batters that he faced, basically pitched a gem of a game, much like he did in Game 2 here, and just the Blue Jays couldn't get enough offense to pull this one out. Now, talking to a couple of guys in the clubhouse just now, it's almost like they feel this is kind of what they're built for anyway, right? I mean, their whole season, it seems, in a lot of ways, has been overcoming challenges right from the start when you're a last place team, trying to get some traction, finishing first place. That late surge in the regular season to lock up first place in the American League East. Getting down 2 games to the Mariners, coming back. Getting behind in this series and coming back. So it's almost as if it was inevitable that this thing was going to go get 7 games. And what a treat it's going to be tomorrow night. A Saturday night in Toronto, Game 7, World Series on the line. I think it's going to be pretty magical.
Yeah, baseball night in Canada. It will be for game number 7. So we know Max Scherzer going to get the call for this game. This is someone that's pitched in many big games before, and I'm sure if you're John Schneider, there's not too many guys you'd rather hand the ball to. We still don't know at this point of this recording who the Dodgers are going to go with, but some combination of Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow we saw close this one out tonight, but it won't be easy as this entire series has not been for the Blue Jays. But what are you expecting heading into Saturday night?
I would expect and hope for a great game. It'll be the theater of Max Scherzer. Obviously, is going to be amazing right from the start. You just hope that he can pitch similar to the way that he did in Game 3. He was pretty darn good in that one. What the Dodgers decide to do with Shohei Ohtani, you alluded to it. There's talk that they may use him as an opener, because if they use him in relief later on, then he essentially has to go out of the game or go into right field. They use him as an opener for 2 or 3 innings, then he can slide over to the DH spot. Tyler Glasnow would have been the logical guy to start, but he did pitch part of an inning here tonight and had to get hot and warmed up for that. So, who knows? It's just like this is the kind of season the Blue Jays have had. I wouldn't expect them to roll over. I would expect them to have a huge effort. But Game 7 in any situation in any sport, it's almost like you come to expect the unexpected. And as I said earlier, what a scene it's going to be. And win or lose, it's been such an amazing season for the Toronto Blue Jays to get to this point. And like Kevin Gausman just told me when I asked him about it, he said George Springer talked to them after the game and said, "Listen, guys, if we would have had this presented to us back in Dunedin in February and March, that we could be here on November 1st in Toronto, Game 7 of the World Series, we all would have signed off on it." So baseball fans are the beneficiary of it. Toronto Blue Jays fans are the beneficiary of it. And what a wild night it's going to be in Toronto.
Well, look, you've talked about the adversity all season long. You even just look at this playoff where, they've had some soul-crushing losses, and maybe tonight is the biggest one because of the stakes, but they've always been able to bounce back. So we'll see what the Blue Jays have in store for game number 7 on Saturday night to win the World Series. That's what's up for grabs in this final game of what's been an incredible World Series so far.